So I'm listening to Bruce Jenner talk to Diane Sawyer, and I mean, I didn't actually watch this. I'm listening to it on YouTube, and thank you, YouTube, for making it available to me, even though somebody stole it, and it'll probably get taken down later. Um, as I listened to it, and I didn't actually even care to listen to it, but they've been talking about it on the news all day, and it's nonstop, and it's Bruce Jenner, he's the news, and they're talking. He's talking about how he is inside. He's a woman, and I don't really find it fascinating. I don't really, like I got my own life. I got my own problems. I think it's a little bit too much in the news for me, for my interests or cares. But I understand how it's important to the whole gender movement, and I'm not. I have no problems with any of that. I think fine, great. If that's something that a person feels they need to do, they should be. They should do it. Be allowed to. Who cares, right? But as I listen to to him speak, I say to myself, like, what would compel somebody to decide to, at this particular point in their lives, decide to just pursue this, to bother, to go through the trouble? And what I personally feel is that if someone does something like that, or someone feels they need to make these changes, it's because they're not happy with themselves, right? They're not they don't feel that they're good enough for the world, or I don't even know if it's that. It's because obviously this guy's like a rock star. This guy's a superstar. This guy was an amazing athlete. He's had an incredible life. It's still having an incredible life. He's done things that most of us will never get to do or experience, or just the fame, the money, the amazing athletic achievements. So you say, like, okay, why can't you, Bruce Jenner, and other people like Bruce Jenner, just accept yourself for the way you are, Like, just say, here, this is what I am. And when I say that, and that's what I'm saying is, like, in a sense, I feel that maybe Bruce Jenner is lying to himself and the world. Bec- it, well, it's not like he's trying. I mean, he did spend most of his life hiding the way he felt inside, right? And trying to project this image that he thought the world wanted to see, right? Or expected of him, his parents, his family, his wives, his children. Um, but I'm starting to just kind of hope and think that it's not really Bruce Jenner's problem a lot of times. It's more like the world's problem. It's kind of like if Bruce Jenner decided to be honest with the world from his initial feelings of being of feeling like a woman trapped in a man's body. If the rest of the world were like that, where we were just all more open and honest with each other, I think, like, a lot of the things that Bruce Jenner is doing now, he wouldn't have to do. Like, if I mean, because I kind of think that you could actually live as if you were a man or a woman. I'll just say, as if you were a woman trapped in a man's body. I mean, it because, like, a lot of what being a woman is, if you're trapped, if you're what? Okay, so let's go by your body, right? Your body image, right? Your body image is what's inside of you, but what your body represents to others is what they can see and what's outside of you. And if you are a man on the outside, then you are projected as a man to the world, right? Now, if you feel as if you're a woman on the inside, and I'm not going to say that's like a mental disorder, or there's anything wrong with you, or whatever. If you feel as if you're a woman on the inside, you can still live as a man, but just as a man that's like lives as a woman. Because what I'm saying is, breasts and a vagina and lips. I don't know. It's stuff like that. The genitalia don't really make you a woman, and that's why it's like I think, like, all the surgery, all the now I've heard he's had laser hair removal of his face and his chest, and you know what? I don't even think that's odd, because I'm a guy. I shave all the time. It's a pain in the ass. It's a drag, right? I don't like shaving. And maybe if I had enough money, I would have laser hair removal done to the parts of my body that I don't really want to be hairy. Like my chest, my hairy ass legs, my hairy ass. Maybe even if I said like fuck it, I'm never gonna grow. Because to be honest, in my whole life, I've never really had a beard or a mustache. I'm not really compelled to do it. It's like annoying to have to shave. It's time waster. It costs money. So maybe, yeah, maybe I can understand someone wanting to do the laser and the hair removal. And then you do stuff like, well, I'll have breasts put into my body, or I'll have like fake breasts, or I'll have my Adam's apple shaved, which is something that he did. And again, it's like, now I can understand if you again with other forms of plastic surgery, like, and that's another thing where people just aren't happy with themselves. They're not accepting of like, I mean, it would be like a bald guy getting a hair transplant, and that's in some way what you can compare people who aren't happy with themselves on the outside. On the inside they're this, like you could be the bald guy who's like, on the inside I have hair, so you get a hair transplant. Does it make you happy? Maybe. But in a sense, are you lying? Are you lying to the world? Are you just, I mean, you could wear a toupee. It's the same thing. It's like, you could be the skinny guy. I mean, the fat guy who's inside, or the woman who inside is skinny. Now you could say, well, maybe that person wants to be thin for health reasons, right? But if you decide rather than just do exercise and you say, well, I can't do it, you do the lap band, and some people, they're genetically not programmed to be skinny, right? So you go, can I accept myself for what I am? Can I do things that are healthy for myself, but I accept the way that I am? And so that would be like the fat guy that gets liposuction, or the lap band, or if you've lost most of your weight, because and again, it's like, it's cosmetic. It's what you're presenting to the world, right? So it's like, a lot of times you're not really lying to yourself until you start like doing things which then make you lie to the rest of the world. And again, I think it comes from not being able to accept yourself. Like, I don't know, even say like, okay, a man wanting to become a woman. Like, what if it were like a black man wanting to become, I'll say white, or I'll say Asian, because it doesn't really matter. Or I'll say it doesn't matter, right? Or an Asian man wanting to become white, right? So what do? They have surgeries done. Maybe they have eye surgery. Maybe they have lip surgery. Maybe they have like treatments done to their hair to make it a certain way. But like inside, whether you feel you're a certain way or you want to be something, and I'm not saying that DNA doesn't come into play into all this, that people aren't genetically predisposed to be a certain way or to feel a certain way. And it's, they say environment versus genetics, and sure, environment can have something to do, but like, I mean, the way you are genetically made up, and that's why, like, people that are gay, I mean, nobody chooses. I mean, okay, the weird thing is you can choose to behave in a homosexual way and have homosexual sex, but you can't choose to be gay, because even if you're a straight guy fucking another dude in the ass, right? You're gonna go home to your wife. You know what I mean? You're gonna, like, if a girl like says, "Hey, don't fuck that guy in the ass. Fuck me in the pussy," right? You're gonna go like, "Sorry, dude," and kick his gay ass to the side and hop on that pussy, because you are what you are. So Adam, what I'm saying about like Bruce Jenner being a woman that's trapped inside of a man, what I'm saying is, why can't you be a woman trapped inside of a man? Why can't, like maybe they can have like on your license they have like male, female. Why can't they say male trapped in the body of a woman, or a woman trapped in the body of a man? And then you just accept yourself for what you are, instead of trying to like fool the world. And that's why I feel I would say that is Bruce Jenner lying? Well, he's always been lying about himself, and he suppressed the way he felt and wanting to be a woman. But is it better now that he's just having surgery so that he will look like a woman for the world, to make the world make him things, because again, it's like being a woman is not about having breasts or a vagina. It's not having, like, having your dick cut off is not going to, like, genetically make you less of a man. You know, your dick cut off, and or just surgically transformed into a vagina. It's like you're a man with a surgically transformed vagina. You have breasts, you have tits, right? Okay, you can have what look like tits. Are milk ever going to come out of them tits? No. Is your vagina ever going to grow a womb, and or your penis to your penis turn into, your testicles turn into ovaries and produce eggs so that you can have a baby? No. And and I'm not saying that to be mean, or to say that that what I'm basically saying is that, why go through the trouble just to present this optical image of yourself? Because what if you were blind? You know, it's that thing where I look in the mirror and I don't like what I see. But what if you were blind, you know? And like I was going to say, like, about dresses, right? So if you're a man and you want to wear a dress, I mean, sure, people will go like, whoa, that guy's wearing a dress. But most people don't care. And the people that do care, yeah, are the wrong kind of people. You don't want to be associated with them. You know, they're like, it's like the kind of people that in your normal life as a normal person, if they have those kind of, it's like a racist. You know, if you are with a talking to a guy and you realize he's a racist, and you're not a racist, then you're not really going to get along with this person, right? So if you want to wear a dress and people don't like it, or if you want to wear makeup or do things that are feminine, and again, this whole thing where you're like feminine, or things that women do, right? Like, if you're a man that likes to cook, if you're a man that likes to wear women's clothes, I mean, those things don't make you more of a woman. It's in your head you're a woman. So doing all these cosmetic changes that are just gonna, like, make people see you as a woman, and for you, Bruce Jenner, it's like a, you know, and my whole opinion on this stuff, like, it's so important, like, it really matters. But I'm talking anyway. I'm watching the special. I'm listening to this now, and I'm rambling, and some of my speech might be a little off because I'm listening and talking at the same time. But let me just continue. You, Bruce Jenner, you're like a rock star. You're like the most famous Olympian in history. If someone said to me, name two Olympic athletes, I would have a hard time. I can name maybe, and one just came to me, Mark Spitzer, right? But Mark Spitzer isn't that famous. It's kind of amazing that I even know it. He's like a swimmer, dude. And then there's Michael Phelps. I called him Mark Phelps for a second. But basically, the most famous Olympic athlete ever, in my opinion, it would be you, Bruce Jenner, right? So now, you're not happy projecting yourself as a man, but feeling like a woman. So why don't you just project, or why don't you just be yourself without altering yourself? And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's like the fat guy that goes for a run. It's like the bald guy that takes off his toupee. It's like the white guy that loves Chinese food or Chinese culture or whatever. It's you are who you are on the inside, but you also are who you are on the outside, is what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is, like, when you become a cosmetically altered man that looks like a woman, you're kind of lying. You're lying to the world, and you're to people who don't know who you are. And for you, it's really hard because like, a lot of people know who you are, you know. But you're lying to the world. So does that mean you're lying to yourself? I don't know. It kind of does. And the other thing is, like, all right, so you're becoming transgender now, and you're not gay, right? Which I can accept. You know, a lot of people go, "Oh, you got to be a fag." You know, if you want to be a woman, you got to like the dick, right? Or no, all right, so if you become a woman surgically, well then now are you a lesbian? And that's just like it's like I don't know. I can accept that you are a woman on the inside who is attracted to men. Whatever, you know. Did I say men? I meant you're a woman on the inside who's attracted to women who would want to live your life with women and whatever. I can accept that, right? So again, what are you going to do to keep yourself appealing or to keep yourself so that you could have a normal relationship with a woman? Are you going to have your penis cut off and changed into a vagina? Are you going to have, because now you're not like, it's not the thing. All right, I'm not going to say, it's like, it's hard for me to say that you're making yourself less attractive to women or less appealing to women, but it's like you're making yourself less. I got to think of how to say this because it's kind of confusing. You're making yourself less capable of having a heterosexual relationship with a woman because now you've altered yourself so that a woman has to accept that you're portraying another woman, and then she has to like with and then like if you decide to have your penis removed and change it to a vagina, it's like then what do you do? Like can you still have, I mean, then have you given up on kind of having a sexual relation, or like do you want to try it out? You want to give that thing a go, and how do you give that thing a go? Do you just start having sex with men? Just, well, I got a vagina, or do you have sex with women? So it's like, again, I can understand you, Bruce Jenner, and other transgender people feeling the way they are, but again, why not live the life as or being internally a woman and even externally projecting yourself as a woman? But why surgically alter yourself to become a woman? Because you're not, you'll never really be a woman. You're always like be a man. And whether you decide to live a straight or homosexual in your lifestyle, where inside you're a woman and outside you're a man, it's at least you'd be living more of an honest life. I don't know how much longer I can really go on it because I don't want to just keep saying the same thing, right? But and I'm just a normal person. I don't understand what compels people to do things that they are, and I'm not going to say like it's a mental illness for certain things because it's like I said. I'm kind of just rambling now. I might just wind this up because I don't know if there's anything else I can say to expand on this topic. And it's hard when you're just sitting here and talking by yourself and talking about something that you don't really know about. Because I do know and have met transgender people. I do know and have met homosexual and people of other races. And again, I'd like to talk about someone of a different race or religion. Let's talk about a different religion. Like, in order to be an Hasidic Jew, you have to live your life externally in a certain way and project yourself as that of an Hasidic Jew. And I'm always like, why is there a need to do that? If you are an Hasid, and I just picked Hasidic Jewish people because I could say Amish, you know, like why wear a uniform or a costume? Why be the man who or the woman who inside is a man, right? So as a woman whose gender as assignation is that of a man genetically, right? And you feel as if you're wearing a uniform and a costume of a man by wearing a suit and a tie or jeans and rugged and boots. But then why can't you just be the woman on the inside who wears the clothes of whatever you choose to wear and not then assign yourself to be the woman on the outside, which you're not, who wears the uniform of a woman, a dress, makeup, high heels, things like that. And I know your religion did come into play because as I'm listening to you, you're talking about it now. But in my opinion, like, fuck the Bible, because there's a lot of bullshit in the Bible. And again, it it comes down to what people think of you, what their projections on you. I mean, if it, to me, I read the Bible. I didn't read the Quran. I didn't read all the other, but I'm just going to talk about the Bible. You're a Christian, so there's really only one line in the Bible, one sentence in the Bible that really matters when it becomes to when it comes to everyone else's the way they relate and their relationship with everyone else in the world. And that is like, and I might even not nail it. I may not say it word for word, but it's like, do unto others as they would have do unto you. And that's it, you know? So if you, Bruce Jenner, came to me and said, on the inside, I am a woman, I'd be like, fine. If you came to me in a dress and said, on the inside, I am a woman, and I'm on the outside, I'm a woman, I'm wearing a dress, I'd be like, fine. You having all the surgeries and stuff that you're having, I'm fine with it. I don't really care because your life is your life. Your life doesn't matter to me in that sense. It's not like, oh, you're a human being and in a sense I have my own problems, Bruce. You got to take care of your shit, and you're doing, in my opinion, you're doing fine. You know what I mean? You got most of what you have, what most people need in their life, and you're comfortable. Things are going great for you. You know. The weird thing is like, what I'm saying is like, if you're being yourself on the inside, why not just accept yourself for the on the outside the way you are, and not just try and like project what society and other people want you to be, or what you think they should be. And I think the world would be better because then you could be like a gay person could be gay, you know, and people should just accept, like the Bible. That's why I said, like, fuck the Bible, throw it out. And I don't know. I also want to mention, like, does appearing a certain way really make you happy? Will, once you become like cosmetically a woman on the surface, on the outside, with what looks like a woman and never really being a woman on the inside, will you still feel fulfilled? Will you be happy? Because it's like, here's the thing, like, what if you were blind and you couldn't look at yourself in the mirror? You couldn't see yourself. So you didn't know whether you looked like a man or a woman. I mean, you knew you had a penis because it sticks out, but then you could kind of go anywhere wearing whatever you want and looking however you want. And I mean, sure, if you projected yourself, I mean, let's say you just projected yourself as a blind person and you just went out wearing a dress and stuff, and people would look at you and go, well, that's fucked up because someone dressed that blind guy as a woman. You know what I mean? They gave him women's clothes and dress. And again, like, wearing a dress does not make you a woman, because if wearing a dress made you a woman, there'd be like a bunch of Irish and Scottish dudes that would, like, if you called them a woman, would just be out there kicking your ass. You know what I mean? For calling them that, if they didn't like you calling them a woman. But let's say you project yourself as a blind woman, a blind person, right? And you went out there wearing a dress, and people would say, like, they'd come up to you and go, sir, you're wearing a dress. And you would be like, yeah, I don't care. And it would be easier, I think, because you wouldn't have to see yourself, the outside. And I think that's what the real problem is. I think it's that ocular input that's getting in there to the cerebellum and the brain. It's like you're seeing, you know what you are on the inside, but your eyes are telling you something that you feel is not true. So you say, oh, I'm living the lie, right? But then you change yourself on the outside and you go, well, now I look more like a woman, but you're still not on the outside. It's just, it's like you're kind of fake. You're kind of, it is still a lie. It's a cosmetic lie. So I get back to it. It's like, in a sense, I feel by changing yourself the way you are, and other people, by doing that, in a sense, you're lying to yourself. But is it an acceptable lie that's good for you and makes you feel better? Maybe. But is it any worse than the lie that you were presenting to the world, where you were presenting yourself as a man? And again, you know, where are you going to go, Bruce, where people will not know who you are? You're a superstar. You're the most famous, and now you're the most famous transgender person in the world. after Chaz Bono. I can think of like two people, Chaz Bono and you. So that's it. You are famous. Everybody knows who you are. So, I don't know. I mean, if you're happy, even though a lot of people around you and your family aren't happy, um, it's you need to be true to yourself, I guess. And if this is how you feel you're being true to yourself, all right. But are you still lying? Yeah, I kind of think you are. This time to the world and still probably to yourself. But you know what? I hope you're happy. I hope everything works out for you. I think I said everything I can say on the issue, not really understanding the issue. I mean, I understand about wanting to be things that I'm not. Maybe I want to be taller. Maybe I want to be younger. Maybe I want to be more muscular. And I'm not. And maybe I can change those things. And I could. I'm not compelled to. I have accepted some of my flaws, but I could, and I do. Some of those have to do. The things that I do have to do with physical health more. But I don't know. Like I said, if you is becoming happier by doing what you are, what the hell? It's like I like going to movies. You like becoming a woman. Whatever. God bless.